Hello there, and
Hello, Matt. How are you?
I am very, very good, thank you. Welcome in the first episode of the hero's journey. And this is your PowerPass. I
Mm-hmm.
am Mateusz Bajerski. I am a hypnotherapist and a transformational coach. And together with Hakiel, we will be sharing our knowledge, our energy, our power to allow you and teach you and show you how to empower yourself, how to become the best version possible. So let's move to Hakiel. Hi, how are you? Who are you?
I,
And what are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. So my name is Ekel. Right now, I'm a holistic therapist. I studied psychology. We met each other when we were studying hypnotherapy. I studied body analysis. So, in resume, I work exactly with the focus in the unconscious and exactly how it can play in our life. So yes, this is what I do. This is
Y-
my focus.
You're working with the unconscious.
Yes.
What does it mean unconscious? How can you describe it? As for the child, if I had 5 years or 7 years, how you'd say what is unconscious?
Okay. So the unconscious is the part of you that you are not aware. So all the kind of memories or experiences that you face, um, they are stored. They don't disappear.
Mhm.
So in this meaning that they keep themselves inside of you and even you don't remember. So it's like the principle that nothing is lost but everything transforms. So then it becomes energy.
Mhm. Okay,
Okay,
it becomes energy.
exactly. So then this energy can exactly affect you in your mind and in your emotional. Okay, this is what we call the conflicts at the psychological level when your thoughts and emotions are fighting between each other. And also there is another part of the unconscious that also I consider that is about our spiritual part. That is
Okay.
the inner voice that all of us we have that whisper sometimes, but we become a bit deaf because of the conflicts between mind and emotions.
All right. We'll move to this one in a second. But
Okay.
first, I wanted to ask you, how do you see the difference between the unconscious and
Mm.
subconscious?
Mm. You know that the thing is, I really face this kind of aspect. Sometimes it's about concepts, you know, because if you are going to Freud, he is the one that calls to this part that you don't know but disturbs you, and actually you can see it in your behavior that is more in your psyche
Mhm.
and the subconscious. It's very similar. Even, for example, has this part that you keep the information in there, and also is connected with your nervous system. That you know that you don't say to your heart, beat now. You don't say that because your body knows what to do,
Mhm.
and we are we are very complex because even the subconscious or unconscious doesn't matter exactly what you want to call, because if we are going to start to discuss concepts, we will not have an end in this conversation, because then even you can start discussing, but is a spirit or soul, is it the same thing? It's not. So what
Yeah.
you know because
Yeah.
the thing is so mixed, okay, that I believe that sometimes the words just will make us feel lost.
Mhm.
Okay,
Confused.
so usually I use the term of unconscious
Mhm.
because I'm a Freud
Okay.
follower. So,
Okay.
and for me, it's quite comfortable. It's the first word that comes out of my mouth.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. So if it's unconscious, yeah, we are not aware that we have something in our unconscious. So how can we work with it when we are not aware that we have it, or that we have any kind of blockage or problem?
Mm-hmm. You know that you have it when you are not happy, when your life starts to mess up, when you feel sad, when you feel anxious, um, when even you can have a illness, okay, because the
Mhm.
metaphysical world explains very well how the unconscious can affect your body. Okay, so every time that you have a big issue that your mind tries to fix it, because your mind always wants the best for you, or at least is convinced of that. So your mind is thinking something like, okay, so I'm starting to feel anxious. Maybe I can start to have a shower before go to sleep.
Mhm.
And the person starts to have a bath before to sleep. And then this doesn't work. Okay. And then the person tries another strategy to deal with her anxiety
Mhm.
and doesn't work again. So I would say that the things in the unconscious really start to mess up your life in the moment that you, by yourself, you try to do it, to do something, to find a solution. And even that you try, the things are not going away.
All right. So in other words, let's translate it to more physical level. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say I want to open a business or start a new venture,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever I do, I feel anxious and I feel blocked, and I don't feel that everything is working out. It's like I need to push through the old emotions, the negative patterns, the self-belief, all this kind of problems, let's say, or blockages that are showing up in my
Mm-hmm.
feelings, in my
Mm-hmm.
emotions. So they are coming from the unconscious.
Yes,
And
because
so it is the same with relationships, with health,
mm,
with
yes,
every playground in our area that
yes,
we get in, that we play normally during our
yes,
life.
you repeat the pattern.
Yes, and the patterns are the patterns. Do you mean the patterns that we learn from our ancestors, from our parents, from school, or do you mean some kind of other patterns that are already there in us in the moment that we are born?
Okay. Um, yes, you learn patterns from your family, even that you hate, that your mom used some expression and she cleans the kitchen perfectly. And it's something that really upsets you. It's pretty possible that later on, if you are not going to clean the kitchen, you are going to clean the toilet as adults.
Hmm.
Even if you don't clean the kitchen at
Hmm.
third, you are going to clean something
Something
else
else, yeah,
in a very similar way.
yeah.
Okay. And these patterns, it's something that or you absorb. Okay. So even you are not aware that you are exactly absorbing all this.
Hmm.
So this is one that usually in adult life people feel like, really, I'm doing exactly the same than my mom or my
Hmm.
dad. And sometimes even people get upset because it's bigger than them
Yeah,
because they just realize that they are doing
yeah.
it. Then you have a pattern that you develop it by yourself. What I mean with this, imagine that your mom was cleaning the kitchen in a very anxious way, and you start to understand at some point, so you observe this kind of behavior, that actually you have to organize everything very well before you start to do something. Let's go imagine that your mom wouldn't do nothing else in the afternoon until she would finish to clean the kitchen. The kitchen was a priority. Okay, so even this kind of behavior, you will understand that, okay, first of all, I have to organize very well this and that, for then I can enjoy my afternoon and my evening. So, for instance, if this kind of a pattern was observed by you, it's enough for then you postpone your life, because then you are busy trying to clean your kitchen.
So in a way, it's like we are observing what the adults are doing as a child, as children. So we are observing how our parents behave, and then upon their behavior and way of reacting, we build our own unique ways of coping with what is happening. And then we cannot move beyond what we know.
It's quite hard. Sorry. Sorry.
No worries.
It's quite hard, because look one thing. I believe that is Jung. Now I'm in the doubt, but I believe that is Jung that said something that is very curious. That is, the idea is, the worst thing for a child is exactly to live, or better, to be with parents that they didn't live their dream. So even
wait a second, to be with parents who
that they didn't live their dream.
They didn't live their dream.
Exactly. So imagine that.
I'm sorry for a second. I just need to close the door.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. So the parents who didn't
live their dream.
Yes.
So let's go imagine that your mom wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
Okay. But she didn't have, let's say, the opportunity. She didn't want to challenge her own parents. And then the dream about to be actress went to her unconscious. Okay. And this works as a frustration. Okay. And when you are a child, you are absorbing this energy, because the conflict, remember that the physics explains this. In every system, if you have a concentration of things that are too close, they start to touch each other. So they provoke energy.
Yes.
Okay.
So let me ask it. So if our parents had some kind of repressed energy, repressed dreams, repressed something that they weren't dealing with themselves, we as children are absorbing the same patterns, the same energy, the same way of behaving, and repressing our own goals and dreams.
Yes.
Because it's what our parents were doing. Yeah. And
you absorb that.
Yeah. And even if they are not conscious of it, that's what's happening with children, with us as well.
We absorb it in any way. You know one thing, the issue usually starts to be translated when, even for example, the child starts to display, let's go call to these behaviors, bad behaviors. Okay. And they are bad behaviors. Why? Because it's like they are exactly mirroring the conflict that is inside of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So imagine a mom that is frustrated. Okay. And all of us, we have our own frustrations. The difference is exactly when we become aware of them, and in this way, we can look after them and deal with them and cope with them. Another thing is when even we don't know, and then of course they make a lot of noise in our life. So a child that, for example, our mom is frustrated in love relationships. Okay. This child is going exactly also to display her behavior that, for example, can be very noisy, and even you in the presence of this child you can feel very invaded because it's like this child is always calling your attention.
Yeah.
This child is just mirroring the need of the mom have love.
Of attention. Yeah.
And then of course love and attention get mixed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that will be the first part of what we wanted to share with you guys. Whoever is listening, whoever is watching it, look into your own childhood, look into your own parents, and know that they are just people, and we are all just people, and we are all passing through all kinds of stuff, and lots of stuff we have no idea that we went through. And so if there is anything in your life that it's standing on the way between you and your goal, between you and your dream, there is a possibility that there is something in your unconscious that could be learned, that could be absorbed, that could be coming somewhere from our past or early childhood that we are still mirroring from our own parents. And okay, so we looked into it, and now what can we do with it? How can we, is it possible to clear it? Is it possible to see all the stuff that is blocking us, if it's even worth doing it, or should we figure it as we go?
Well, it depends how happy you are with your life.
So for example, let's say my mom wanted to be an actress and I don't want to be an actor. And this kind of repressed dream, it doesn't bother me. I prefer to be a scientist, and I go into science and I find success there. So the things that I absorbed from her in this area of my life, it's not influencing me. Is it possible that the same pattern can influence different area of life?
Yes, because look, all of us, we are different. And even, for example, putting this in a more scientific way. Okay, so when we are babies, we have a lot of neurons. Okay, and then it's quite curious that you start to have less and less. Okay, and I'm not talking that when you are old. No, I'm talking that there is a process that happens, especially until you're 5 years old, that your brain starts to understand what is efficient. So you have 5 years, let's say, that you are trying everything. You jump in one leg, you jump in two, you see how far you are going with 2 legs and with 1 leg. And then this is exactly a process that happens in all of us, that the brain starts to create neural pathways that it knows like what is more efficient.
Yeah, in cognitive science.
Yes, what can give me results? So we have, all of us, we have this process.
Okay? Yeah, that's normal. That's normal.
This is normal.
The things that we repeat constantly, the neural pathways are
Exactly. Yes,
more used.
we
Yeah,
carry
exactly.
on with them. So this is the part that it's your mind. So you are quite aware the most part of the time. What are you doing and why? At least you can know I have this target. The mind loves to have targets and goals. Okay? This is the reality. The thing is, when in this process that your mind is throwing a goal and you start to understand that it doesn't go further, so what is stopping you? Because let's go imagine your mom had the frustration of not becoming an actress, okay?
Mhm.
But you were a scientist, you followed another profession. It's totally okay because it's not exactly that then you want also to be an actor like her. You
Mhm.
don't have the same desire.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not exactly about the same desire. It's about the energy that got concentrated regarding some goal.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like there's a path,
Mhm.
and there is something laying on our path that it's really concentrated of heavy blocks of energy, some
Mm.
kind of trauma or emotion in something. And this condensated energy on our path, sometimes it's so big and so heavy that it's impossible for our conscious part of the mind to push through it or
Mm.
learn something new from it. It's something that it's in a way paralyzing, that
Yeah,
we cannot go beyond it. Yeah.
because it's like even your mind usually knows that is irrational. Because
Hmm.
imagine, even with the previous example, you were a scientist, but
Hmm.
then you see yourself beating your child like a crazy.
Hmm.
And when you stop to beat them, you say to yourself, why I did that?
Yeah.
There was no point. It
Yeah.
was just a tantrum.
Yeah. So why this
Okay.
reaction? And it's unconscious.
It's unconscious because it's in your emotional level. It's
Mhm.
not in your mind, in your conscious mind. It's not guided by the logic. And
There
we
is.
want always to try to understand our behaviors through the logic.
Mhm.
If you are going in that way, you will find a wall
Yeah, you will
because it's
start looping. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, because this is the thing. How many times you have people with you working and they say to you know what, I really start to understand why I feel like this.
Mhm.
I know, now I know, but I can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unlogical. It's like I don't understand, why do I
Exactly.
feel like this? Why do I
Is
feel like this?
stronger
Yeah.
than them because it's an energy that is in there that needs to come out.
Yeah, that must to be cleansed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or to be, because I think sometimes it's important for people to understand what is about cleaning,
Mhm.
okay, and also exactly to integrate the shadow,
To
okay, the
integrate the shadow.
pain, the energy. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes,
We'll speak about it a bit
okay.
later. What I wanted to do a small and short sum up of what we said up to now.
Hmm.
So if we find ourselves in life in a situation in which our emotions or our body reactions are not logical,
Hmm.
are something is happening, and we are just asking ourselves, why cannot I overcome it? Why it is happening?
Hmm.
What can I do to overcome it? That's like a first step of becoming aware that there is something in our subconscious or
Yes,
unconscious level that might be automatized by our
yes,
brain, that was learned through our parents, through our past, through our ancestors, and that it's not necessarily ours, but it's just a reflection of what was happening
yes,
in our family or between people who are the closest to us.
yes,
Because we haven't spoke about it, but when we are born, we are clear. we have no idea about life. We have no idea that those are our hands, that we have got legs, that we are breathing. That's everything. It's totally new for a child. So when we are born in a certain environment, we are just observing what is happening, and based on these observations, we are rationalizing what is happening. We are creating explanation why
Yeah.
the people behave like this. We are creating the base of our self-worth. We are creating the whole structure of our ego, of who we
Mm-hmm.
are, of our character. So we unconsciously, we are taking all that is good from our parents, and also we are taking everything that it's bad from our parents.
Yeah.
Let's say good and bad. It's
Mm.
doesn't exist really, but it's something that it's helpful and something that it's not really helpful in this 3D physical experience. And so yeah, okay,
Mm.
so becoming aware is like the first step on our journey to
To improve your life.
improving ourselves, yeah,
Yeah.
to reaching our goals.
Yeah. Because look one thing. Um, the most part of the time, people they refuse to look into their pain.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's not pleasant, I know. However, when you face the pain, it will be easier for you to see where is the pain, because in that moment you start to give a name to that
Mm-hmm.
pain. You start to understand what are the effects of that pain in your life. And when you start to have a new perception, new words about something, you are integrating the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you say, we get the bad and the good. The bad actually, it's something that just needs some light on.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is exactly bad? Because in some situation, for example, if
Sometimes it serves, sometimes it's not.
exactly,
So for example,
exactly,
in past, accumulating food or accumulating some kind of items was very important, because people knew that the famine is coming, that the cold winter is coming, and hiding bread under the pillow was necessary because
yes,
somebody could steal it. And that kind of pattern was helpful and allowed our ancestors to survive. Yet in day-to-day living, when we see a person behaving like this, we think that this person is crazy, it's out of their mind. And that's just a pattern that it's not helpful anymore. That
I would like also to give some insights to what you say, because, for example, now
mhm,
doesn't make any sense that you keep bread under your pillow,
yeah,
okay? But the question here is, so what are you keeping for yourself? Forget the bread, forget the food, forget. Go
but
to another level.
in one concept, in one context. So I observed my ancestors behaving like this, or I've learned it from my ancestors, and I'm not doing with the bread, but I'm doing it with something else, with some kind of
Exactly.
energy or some kind of.
Yes.
It can be money, it can be accumulating money, it can be accumulating wealth, it can be
Yes.
accumulating whatever gives me safety,
Exactly.
whatever gives me safety, that was giving the same kind of emotion to our ancestors. Okay.
Exactly.
And
So you see, you
yeah,
don't save exactly the same thing,
yeah,
but you keep the kind of energy with the need of doing the same movement.
hmm, so the same general pattern, the
Yes.
same emotional pattern.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if something was giving us the feeling of safety, we are repeating it just in a different way, just in a different
Yes.
form.
Yes. because
And
now it wouldn't
yeah,
make any sense to save bread under the pillow.
yeah,
But for
exactly.
us, makes sense
To
to keep
have money in the bank.
some
Yeah,
some
exactly.
some stuff just for ourselves that
Yeah,
we don't want to share with no one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, becoming aware of these patterns, becoming aware that there is something that could be transformed. Is it
Mhm.
hard? Is it difficult to become aware of it?
I think it depends how honest you want to be with yourself
Hmm.
and how desperate you are.
How desperate I am.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how honest I am with myself and how
Yeah.
desperate I am. So, let's say the honesty, I need to look into my life
Mm.
and say, okay, I've got a problem in this area. Let's
Mm.
say problem. There's something that it's not allowing me to fulfill my potential. That
Yeah.
is, I want to be this kind of person. I want to achieve this kind of goals. And as much as I try, I feel that there's something still blocking me and I cannot put my finger on it. So that's being honest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's acknowledging that you cannot do it by yourself. There is something
And
that
and it's not just that, because I'm going to give you an example.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to put myself on
Okay.
the table to shock myself. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So one example. Um, for me, I was not keeping breath under my pillow,
Yeah.
but I was keeping all my knowledge for myself.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Simple like that. And I had to have here a breakthrough
Hmm.
because this was blocking me in my professional life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this instinct of keeping this for myself
Hmm.
was not helping me
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the moment that I became aware of this movement,
Hmm.
yeah, it was easier for me to say, aha, you are catching me in this way.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go look at you.
Yeah.
So you are inside of me.
Hmm.
So you will try to do this movement, but
Hmm.
okay, you can be my friend because you accumulated so much knowledge that now
Hmm.
it's time to share,
Yes.
you know? And this is kind of game.
So that's like integrating your shadow self. Yes.
Yes.
So you see something that potentially is in a way selfish or in a way that it's giving you some kind of satisfaction repeating the old pattern, some kind of safety, some kind of positive feeling because you're gaining something from it. Yeah, you're
I think it's about to work the things because look one thing. It was because of this movement also
Mhm,
that I studied so much.
mhm. Yeah.
So it was not just the devil inside of me.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay. So it was serving me
Mhm.
for the good, but at the same time was putting me in troubles.
Yes.
Okay. And this is exactly where, in the moment that I became aware of this movement,
Mhm.
it was easier for me to say, okay, my dear, so you are there.
Yeah.
So let's go put you in the service of the others.
Mhm.
Because right now you were just doing the
Accumulating.
movement
Yeah.
for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Okay. I understand it. And let's go back to this being desperate. How much you are. I would use different phrasing. I would say how much motivated you are. How much it bothers you to
no,
change it.
because you know one thing, maybe because I think I deal more with the deepest pains. Okay, this is the reason because I speak in despair and you talk about motivation.
Mhm.
Because usually what happens is, and of course, all of us, we know as therapists, we are always dealing with the resistance of our client, even with our soul.
Yeah.
So it's everything together. And the client wants to resist
Hmm.
always, because, or doesn't want to go to the place where he found the pain for the first time. Okay. And then, of course, and on the top of this, there are a lot of strong emotions connected with that event. Shame,
Layers. They
guilt.
are accumulating different layers. Yeah.
Exactly. So to go through this, usually you really have, or to be in a position that, yeah, I really want to go further and I want to know very well myself because I want to improve myself, or you are in such a pain that, okay, yeah, I tried everything, because this is the kind of speech. I tried already everything and nothing worked. I really have to go to the roots.
Yes.
It's when they have the awareness of going to the roots. And for you to go to the place of pain, it's really complicated.
It's painful. It's painful.
Because
so,
no one wants to cry.
Saying mathematically, if your pain is bigger than the resistance that you're holding into looking into this pain, you are on a good path to awakening, to enlightening yourself in this area of life. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's so beautiful. In a way, that's beautiful, because you need to suffer first to wake up.
but this is exactly the link with the hero's journey. Because in the hero's journey, and for the ones that they are not aware of what is the hero's journey, it's a division of phases of a hero that he faces until he gets the success of his own journey. And this was developed by Joseph Campbell, that actually inspired himself in Jung. So we are talking about unconscious. We are talking about a structure that all of us will live. Okay?
A structure that all of us believe.
Yes, all of us, we are heroes. We just don't know that.
We just don't know that. Okay.
Yes, all of us. Because look, one thing, you are distracted by your mind thinking, oh, you know what? I would like to buy a new car. And you keep your mind busy with that car. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you, but are you having some problem? And then you admit, yes, I will have a problem with my wife, you know. Me and my wife, we are not in a good moment. So you could be you have exactly your adventure in your hands. Okay, you are in a moment that you can be the hero, how to resolve that situation. But actually then you think that it's better to plan about to buy a new car.
Yeah.
And then there is something else that I believe it is quite important. Why the people, they don't know that they are the hero? Because they have an inner dialogue that is far, far away from being a hero.
Yeah.
Because the inner dialogue is something like, I think maybe you can't do it. I'm afraid. I'm ashamed. Oh yeah, my mom was telling me that I didn't have any value and I couldn't get the things done. Or my father was saying to me that I was lazy. So people, they don't, then how they can believe that they can be heroes if they are lazy, if
They're not worthy
They
enough. Yeah,
feel fear.
yeah,
So all these are shadows again
yes,
that people are not looking into them, are not integrating them, and then they cannot be the heroes of their own lives.
yes. So, okay, um, it's almost our time to finish this episode.
Yeah.
So, as a sum up, I would like to get, let's say, 5 characteristics of becoming a hero. What kind
Okay.
of what kind of thought patterns, thoughts, beliefs do you have about yourself as a hero of your own life?
Mm.
So, like, for example, I am courageous to look into my pain.
Mm-hmm.
If there is something that is really bothering me, that is painful, I don't push it away.
Mm-hmm.
I acknowledge it, I accept it, and I choose to look into it
Mm-hmm.
in order to understand why it hurts so much. So that would be one characteristic of hero, to be courageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's other?
I think it's quite important that people start to look into their own past experiences and they remember when they won. Because, come on, everyone has a success, at least one.
Some kind of success
Yes,
story. Yeah.
exactly. So people, they have to remember
Hmm.
that actually they faced the challenge before
Hmm.
and they could cope.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe that this is really important for
Yeah.
people to be aware. Another thing that I believe that it's important is exactly to have a notion that the first step about the hero's journey is the call of the adventure. And I think it's important that people be aware that this is exactly the phase that it's normal. When you have a challenge that appears suddenly, that someone comes to you and tells you, I have to sort this out, or better, you have to sort this out.
For me. Yeah.
Exactly. um, and this can involve a lot of changes. Can be
Yeah.
one parent that can get sick suddenly and you have to look after him.
Hmm.
Who knows? You have a lot of experiences. And it's normal that at the beginning you refuse. You don't want to go because you
Hmm.
don't want to leave your comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Yeah.
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 So I think it's very important that for people start to see themselves also as a hero, they have to remember that they have to look out of the box and start to see that it's normal to live a life with challenges that exactly leads you to out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
This is life.
It's normal to have
So,
challenges in
so
life.
you
Yeah.
see, constantly we are invited to be heroes.
Yeah.
It's the call of the
Yeah.
adventure all the
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Another aspect that I think it's important um, to see the people that are around them.
Hmm.
This is quite something that tells them if they can take the adventure or not. This model of Campbell even is replied in many stories that they are very famous. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars is one.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So they follow exactly the same steps
Of
of
hero
the
journey. Yeah.
yes, and it's quite important to understand who can be with you.
Hmm.
Okay, in your life, and it's not just about a mentor, a therapist. It's about your friends. It's about the people around you.
The people around you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
because look, one thing:
environment. Yeah.
how you can feel a hero if suddenly you have all your friends saying,
Yeah. You cannot do it. Come on, leave it.
again, your unconscious is going exactly to absorb this energy.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have your own,
yeah,
then it's like, oh Lord, let's go sit together.
Like
and let's go grow together.
Yeah.
So it's quite important that people pay attention in the people around them, and obviously, and I think I'm going for the fifth already. No, for the fourth.
Number 4.
Okay, very important in my opinion. It's about the words.
Words. What they're saying. Yeah.
Exactly, to themselves and to the others.
Okay.
Okay, so this is really important. Actually, I cannot forget. I think you can be quite curious. Today is Monday, so it's the day of the moon.
Yeah.
And it's the day of the word. Actually,
day of the words. Okay.
Yes, the day of the word. And one thing that is a kind of exercise for Mondays. Mm-hmm. It's to be very aware about the words that you say. Mm-hmm. So you just have to use the words that are true, necessary words, mm-hmm. and don't go beyond, for example, to gossips and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of exercise mm-hmm. that the people should do on Mondays.
Okay.
Okay.
It's recommended to do on Mondays.
It's recommended, exactly. Yeah. And even to start to observe exactly how it plays out. How many times I feel myself like the author is saying something that actually is true about that person. Mm-hmm. I agree. Should I say it?
Or not?
Because this is really the thing. Which words I should say, because the words really build our world. And if you want to be a hero, the heroes are not gossiping.
Yeah.
The heroes are not really building a world of words mm-hmm. that are not convenient for themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's very automatic. And I'm very, very sure that we will have the whole episode just about saying and phrasing stuff and how become impeccable with the words that we are using, because that's very, very important. Everything
it's
that
an
we
exercise.
Are saying,
Because look, gossiping is also social. Mm-hmm. People they socialize because they are talking about each other, because we have interest in the others, mm-hmm. because we are not alone. So the thing is exactly then, okay, and my words, in which way are affecting the other? Mm-hmm. Because if I'm being ironic regarding a matter that is quite sensitive for someone, this person will be in pain.
Yeah.
This person even will start to be brave, mm-hmm. an emotion that is like, I hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what? I will get this hate as well.
Yeah, whatever you send, it's being reflected.
Yes.
Okay, so what will be the number 5 of the characteristic of a hero?
The number 5, I think it's very important, because I know that it's quite difficult sometimes to stop our chatterbox, mm-hmm. our inner dialogue. But I really believe that it's quite important to start with tenderness, like mm-hmm. Even to start to be more aware. When the kind of chatterbox starts, you are really stupid.
Yeah.
How you did this?
The inner dialogue, the stuff that we are telling ourselves.
Yeah.
Because very often we are telling ourselves such a bad things that we would never
Yes,
tell anyone else. So
exactly.
being aware of what we are saying to ourselves and
Yes,
starting to be tender,
yes,
starting to slowly loving ourselves, also in
yes.
our thoughts. So saying,
You,
okay,
you know one thing, to be honest, I really, this is what I really believe. I know that it's beautiful when we love ourselves, but I know that it's very hard.
mhm,
So I think I think it's good to go step by step. At
yeah,
least start to be aware when you are being um, quite harsh with yourself,
yeah,
and just say, calm down.
yeah,
All right. I know that this part is the part that is very upset, is
mhm,
frustrated for a lot of things. However, there is something deeper inside of me that doesn't deserve that.
yeah,
Okay, there is a light in me that doesn't deserve that at all.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Becoming tender to ourselves. Yeah.
Yes, at least I think it's the first step, because I think love is beautiful, but it's very hard, because if
Mhm.
you are having a, a big fight inside of yourself, how you can start to love yourself?
It's like a journey. You cannot start from number 0 and jump on
No,
number 10. It's
exactly.
small steps forward and
Yes,
getting there.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, yeah. And this is quite important. It's people also to to understand with their heart instead of just understanding with their mind.
Mhm.
Okay, because many times what is easy is, I understood why I do this and I can now fix this and so on. But actually, if you don't accept it from your heart, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is the
It comes
reality.
it comes from the mind.
It's like you say, I have this procrastination
Mm.
that comes from my mom. And okay, and in what helps you?
Yeah, so what? So what?
Just
You've got it.
just when you start to understand exactly why your mom got this
Yeah.
procrastination, you have a kind of light inside of you, and this is what exactly opens the roads for the hero that you are.
So in a way you need to get it in your on your mental plane, and also you need to get it on your emotional plane
Yeah,
in order to it to be released and fully um, accepted, assimilated with you.
yeah. Because look, one thing, you can tell me 100 times that you accept what your mom did to you. You can tell me that 100 times. However, then you continue to see yourself in pain.
Hmm.
And the reason it's because you still didn't come out of your shoes and you put yourself in her shoes, because
Yeah,
also she's a hero.
yeah.
Okay.
Everyone is a hero.
She's a hero as well. And this is a big problem, because we don't see the hero in us, and we cannot see the
The hero.
heroes
Yeah.
that also raised us.
Hmm.
So I think
With
for our first episode,
amazing.
it's not
So
bad.
okay, this was your power pass, and you are worthy of having it all. You are a hero of your own life. You are courageous. You are aware. You are amazing. And right now, you are starting your own hero's journey. And we are here just to open space for it and give you all the tools possible for your journey to be smooth, easy, joyful, and full of love and awareness. Thank you for today. And
Thank
let's
you.
meet next week, Monday, the same time. Bless.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.